Well, hello everyone. It's Miriam, the woman at the well here. It's good to see you again, and I just thought that I'd pop on and discuss a film that I really like, but I was swayed a little bit by what some of the real life exorcists have been saying about this. And I understand their take, but I'd just like to tell you about it. So, it's called The Pope's Exorcist. It is a 2023 film, and as you can see there, it stars Russell Crowe. Now, uh, just from my perspective, the reason I like this film is that it elevates certain things, certain sacramentals, for example, crucifixes, etc., but it explains why they're important, which I think is quite important. And also, I've just got a hold of my one. I have great devotion to, I just hope it's obvious there. Let me just see. There's the St. Benedict medal. Now, the St. Benedict medal, you might also recognize it from this cross. I have it on my my rosary bracelet. The St. Benedict, that's blessed as well. My one is blessed. The St. Benedict medal is very powerful. It's great protection from evil. It's not just a tool. It is blessed. And I think what this film does very well is from the get-go, it raises the importance of the St. Benedict medal, of confession, and doesn't just throw it in there as a thing, just, a device within the film. They really talk about it, the importance of it. And then the third thing, which I think is very important, because usually we only discuss this in healthcare terms, but in spiritual terms, this is really important. Many of us who have been through trauma and who are people of faith will know that when we fell into sin, it was often after a trauma. Now, the thing is, you can get through the trauma, but post-trauma, if you don't adequately protect yourself spiritually, you can be led further into sin because you're grasping at straws often, depending on what the trauma was. And that can sometimes lead you down roads that you don't want. But your doors have just been blown open by a trauma, if it's emotional, if it's physical, or if it's mental. A severe trauma can do that. And if that happens, it acts like a gateway to the enemy. So people are not told about this, and what I really like about this film is that in the kitchen scene, my eyes and my ears perked up. I could not believe it, that that's what they chose to have as the foundation of that scene, and it was absolutely bang on. So this film, as far as I'm concerned, is not all bad. It is actually quite educational. And yes, it does focus on the drama, but what are you going to, what would you expect from one of these Exorcist films? Of course that's going to happen, but there's a lot more to this film than I think it's given credit for. So I personally recommend it. It elevates sacramentals, it elevates confession, and it talks about trauma in a way that we have not been speaking about it in recent years. And I do think it's very important to remember that after spiritual trauma, you've an emotional trauma, you've got to look after the spiritual side of yourself. You've got to close down all those channels, make sure your intent is there, that you're aware that you need protection now and healing, and get Our Lady on board. Get Our Lady on board. Do the act of consecration if you can. St. Louis de Montfort, he's very aware of this. Anyway, I'll talk to you again next week. God bless you for now.